comic is better than the other. They both think it's them. We're smoking and joking and having a blast. 2 comics, 2 cigars. 2 comics, 2 cigars. Yeah.
2 comics, 2 cigars. We're here. Joe List, first time, maybe, who knows, on the YouTube series.
I don't like how close we are.
Yeah. What's that?
I think we're going to kiss.
It does. Joe.
Yes.
Here's the show when you should be doing some of these on your own. It's 2 comics.
Yes.
2 cigars.
Great.
Is that light going to hit us too much?
Well, there's other
shit.
clouds, maybe. It's a little annoying, but I'll look over here.
Okay. So we're picking 2 cigars. In honor of your first movie you ever made.
Feature.
Feature? What does that mean?
Well, I've made some shorts.
Oh, right. Okay. Feature-length movie you've ever made. What a
Favorite
fucking
first.
Hollywood douche.
Wow, that was the bit, and then you didn't go with it. But I was in a Henry Phillips movie.
Oh, that's good.
But this one I wrote, I produced, and
4th of July.
every single idea was mine.
Saw it.
Every joke.
He was great in it. I thought
Yeah.
to celebrate a great fucking thing, every joke he made, Louis was there just going laughing along with
Never
it.
even said a thing.
Weighed in. It's
Did
crazy.
nothing.
It seemed weird. It seems like, hey, you're right here, man. Can you just like weigh in on this?
Yeah, he just slept. Nothing to add.
Yeah, interesting.
These ashes are going to blow all over us any moment.
Let me show you a trick.
Might be funny.
It might be funny. So I thought, why don't we have some nice ones, a legit nice cigar, and get a Cohiba.
Yeah. What do you mean? You look nervous.
No, I'm not nervous. I'm excited to smoke a fucking beautiful Cuban cigar with you.
I just hate lighting a cigar in the wind.
Oh, okay. You want to go off camera and do it?
Well, we'll
Go under
figure
the
it out.
table?
I mean,
Here, I'll
I
hold
feel like
this
I
while
always
you chop.
suck. I look like a fucking stupid idiot.
Oh, I did notice a lot of fucking comments about how you don't know how to light a cigar.
Oh, I know how to light a cigar.
It's such a fucking...
The comments. I hate the comments. The comments are always bad. I keep getting this comment. People are like, Joe List just complains constantly. I'm like, is that not what comedy is?
Joking, complaining.
Is that comedy?
People are like, oh, you really care about this? And you're like, no.
I try to do a bit about that. People, I'm like, his whole special is just complaining. I'm like, what kind of special would be? Hey, I'm doing really well. I got a good relationship with my wife. I got laid earlier, and I enjoy driving. Good night. That's comedy.
That's comedy. You're supposed to make fun of it. I heard Jay Leno once say that they're like, how come you don't talk about your wife on stage? And he goes, all comedy is putting things down, and I have no interest in putting my wife down. So I don't include her in that.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's a guy who constantly puts his wife down in bits.
I don't know. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so sweet that you would think that. But I hadn't thought of masturbating. Here you go, bud.
Oh, God. All right. Here we go. Cohiba.
Cohiba. Do you brown it? Do you do the thing? Just pop it. Yeah.
Oh, I can brown, but you can't. These letters you can't see.
You can't see, yeah. If you hear it, I generally think that's a good idea. I just saw a video on why that works. It's supposed to seal the thing to the thing. You're doing a great job. Who the fuck says Joe List does not have fucking light a cigar? I've never seen a light like that. One of the best lights I've ever seen.
I smoke a lot of cigars, folks. I should smoke less. But I think it's good for you. Have you heard my theory about cigars? Think about everybody.
Tell my mom.
Who is synonymous with cigars to you? I bet they died in their 80s or 90s.
The Burns guy?
George Burns lived to be 100 years old. Mm-hmm. Mark Twain, late 80s.
Uh-huh.
Bill Cosby, still alive.
Still alive. Yeah.
Churchill.
Gabby Petito.
Who's that?
The chick who died hiking in the Zion. But she got murdered. Nothing to do with the cigar.
Fuck her. Remind me I have a topic to bring up to you that I'm interested in hearing what you think. Who's the other one? George Burns. People are yelling at their fucking phones or laptops right now. George Burns, Mark Twain, Bill Cosby.
How old was Mark Twain when he died?
Old.
I thought Mark Twain's more of a pipe guy.
Maybe you're right, but I think he smoked a lot of
Did
cigars.
Bobby ever try to get you
cigar
into pipes?
I told you, when I saw Bobby
so
pull out
dumb.
a pipe one time, I said, this is going to be a problem. You're going to have a fucking 1,000. He did immediately. He had like 300 pipes. Who's the other
I love you, addicts.
cigar guy?
They immediately just throw it into something else. Who?
Red Auerbach.
Red Auerbach.
He's like the most cigar guy.
Basketball legend.
He's another old one.
Basketball legend.
No, the addicts, yeah. I'm like that with Starbucks tea, cigars, pussy.
Can't stop slurping on it.
Love it. I'd love to eat pussy. That's nice.
It's nice, dude. Fucking fine Cuban cigar. A Cohiba from, what does it say? Habana, Cuba.
Habana. This is where I'm an addict. I've
Yeah.
taken 2 pulls off of this. I'm like, what do we smoke after? You get like a nice little one.
Wow, enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
You ever hear Jonah Ray's enjoy your burrito?
No, I don't know Jonah. Oh, I think you told me some bullshit before.
Fair.
What was Jonah Ray?
He said it was his deepest depression. He was just like, the only thing that would bring him any joy was the one burrito from the place nearby him in Silver Lake. And then while he was eating, he was like, this will be done. I'll be back to depression. And then he had to tell himself, like, take that moment in at least.
I think you told me that on my podcast, Mindful Metal Jacket, which doesn't really exist anymore, but it's coming back.
You stopped doing it?
I took a break and then never came back.
Can we just do like a podcast? Like, is that allowed to do a podcast like, once a month or so? Hey, 7 months later, I want to do another episode. So I'm going to do one.
This is the argument I always have with Ron on, because the podcast I listen to I listen to Waking Up with Sam Harris and Barry Weiss's Honestly podcast. And they come out when they come out. They come out when they have a story or an interview. And I'm never like this. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's an hour late. It just comes out.
I'm sure they get that though.
Right.
Hey, how come? Where's the new one? Also, when you train them to like, this is the way it is. Like, you ever work a black room, and then they go like,
never. No, I used to.
But they start like, 8:00 show. It's like, hey, it's 8:40. What's the problem? It's like, crowd. I don't get here.
Yes.
And you're like, but you've showed them how to be like that.
There's a lot of clubs that do that. Let people show up and they miss the show. You missed it.
Yeah. This episode of Two Comics, Two Cigars is brought to you by Zippix Toothpicks. Guys, let's say you want to quit smoking. I get the irony, but a lot of people can't smoke cigars. A lot of cigarette smokers and other smokers can't smoke because they inhale and they get a head rush. So you want to quit smoking, but you can't. You need that nicotine. You need that nicotine rush. Where else are you going to get it? But Zippix Toothpicks, everybody. Oh, it comes in many flavors, some with caffeine. This one's sweet whiskey. And it's got 3 milligrams. That's right. I got one in my mouth right now. Surprise, surprise. Zippix Toothpicks. It's a way to quit smoking. Why not? Go to Zippix Toothpicks. That's Zippix Toothpicks, CKS.com. Use promo code Ari at checkout. You get 10% off your order. That's a sizable amount. That's 2 cigarettes out of a pack, right off your order. Zippix Toothpicks, everybody. Quit the only way you know how. By having some oral fixation. There's a third option, but you don't want to go there at all. Some of those have Zip Energy B12 and caffeine too. So get all sorts of flavors at ZippixToothpicks.com. Promo code Ari at checkout. Now let's get back to the episode. Ari Shaffir, Joe smoking a Cohiba. What was I going to say? Yeah, we need to be able to do that a little bit. Just the occasional thing. Kind of like Two Comics, Two Cigars. Damn, this is a smooth smoke, bro.
Very smooth, dog. Yours was non-ironic, and I think mine was ironic.
The bro.
Oh, yikes. We got bogeys.
No, it's just like...
Oh, it's like a
It's
flag.
the 4th of July party
Thing.
stuff. Speaking of 4th of July, well, it's probably out of theaters now.
Yeah, but it's streaming right now. LouisCK.com. Go check it out if you haven't already.
Dude, it was a good movie.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I choked up at the end. I'll
Oh,
tell you
really?
what. I didn't tell you or Louis this. I went home to see my parents a week later. And I was like, I had to tell them how I felt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not in a bad way. Not in the, like, I don't want to give anything away, but not in the movie way.
Right.
But, like, to tell them, like, they've been supportive and they really have, like, helped me through a lot of, like, tough things. And it's, like, important to talk.
Oh, that's nice. You got
We
good
through to me.
parents.
I do have good parents. So, like, why not say that?
Yeah, that's interesting. And didn't your dad just do Kilimanjaro? I was just thinking about this, talking about it.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
How is he
Years
so
ago.
healthy? What does he do?
Well, a lot of Holocaust survivors live a long time, and I think it goes to show you the importance of a diet low in trans fats. These people trained early on and had no, nothing. All right.
I wasn't even sure. I was like, it was so earnest. I was like, all right, I guess this makes sense.
I don't know. He was in the Israeli army. He's fucking. I don't know. He gets up. He's just like regimented. I don't know. And luck too.
What a shit answer. I mean, what's he doing day to day? Does he meditate? Does he do karate? Does he
No.
eat salad?
No gardens.
Oh, garden's something. That's zen.
Yeah, eats okay. Doesn't drink, but did for a while.
Okay. Spiritual guy? Religious?
Religious for sure.
That's
that's
spiritual.
spiritual, right?
Yeah.
Praise 3 times a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, standard.
Interesting. And he's in his 80s.
Yeah. He was when he did it, in Climb Mount Kilimanjaro, he was I think like the 7th oldest person to ever do it.
Wow.
And he was older than, like, I mean, he never set the record, but he would have set the record like 20 years ago. If he had done it, you know.
Wait, now, what does he rank amongst Jewiest? Top 5, I imagine?
Probably top 5. Yeah.
Oh, so here's what I wanted to ask you
He's
about.
up there. Yeah.
What's your theory on this? So, are you a curb guy? Your enthusiasm?
Dropped off, but I do love it. No, not a bad word to say about it, but I haven't kept up.
All right, so this is an episode years ago the weatherman, where Larry realizes the weatherman is predicting rain so he can have the golf course to himself.
Wow.
Fun
What a
app.
great show.
So Sarah and I were out in Whitefish, Montana. Incredible.
What pictures you had from there?
Yeah, it was
I was
awesome.
jealous.
Oh, it was awesome. We were
The
outside.
minor league game was sick.
I know. I got to play.
Wow.
Well, dress. First base coach. Pretty cool.
Really?
It was awesome. So we're in
Oh
Whitefish.
yeah, that was cool. How did they let you? I'm sorry. Either
Yeah.
after or before. I got to find out about the first base coaching.
Well,
Before or after? What do you want to do?
What we can do is do it right now. I mean, what
Okay.
you realize is the first base coach is pretty meaningless gig. They literally handed me the helmet. They're like, get out there. I'm like, all right.
Because you can see where the ball goes. You decide for yourself. I got to haul it to second or not.
There's some responsibility. You got to yell through. You got to
third
let
base
them.
coach. You got the play behind you. You got to
Third-
know. Did they feel this right?
Third base coach is huge. Huge position. You have to know the signs also. You got to give relay signs, like the sign, like bunt,
Yeah.
take, hit and run shit. And then you can be the GOAT. I mean, you can be, which by the way, GOAT used to be scapegoat.
Used to be a bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's greatest of all time, which is stupid. But
Also, now they do like, he's one of the goats. He's a goat. He's a goat. He's a goat. And it's like, everything loses meaning within a year.
it's horrible.
Like canceled was like, oh, that just means you got in trouble. Like,
or violence.
oh. What?
Violence. Silence is violence. You're like, it's literally not violence.
Disagree. Did you guys feel that violence right there? I could.
I got a little violent with you. They're like, words can be violent. I'm like, no, they
No, they
can't.
can't.
They cannot.
Sticks and stones, in some ways, may break my bones,
That's right.
but words will never hurt me. Actually, that's
Well,
wrong.
words, that one's wrong,
That's wrong.
too.
Words do
Words
hurt.
can hurt you. It doesn't mean
Quite
they're
a- quite a
violent.
lot. Yeah, they're not violent.
But any jizz, so I was the first base coach. And you got to yell back. There wasn't a pickoff attempt. Because when someone
There
tries
was?
to pick off, there wasn't. But you go back, that's fun.
Yeah, the guys
they're-
got it. By that
they're
time,
watching.
it's like too late. They got to be making the move back.
They're watching anyways. But you do have to yell through. You got to let the runner know that the ball is, if it's a ground ball, that it's through so he can take a turn instead of running straight.
So he hears you behind him?
No, like he's run, like the play is over there.
Yeah.
So he's running, and I can go, it's through. So then he can round first.
Oh, instead, because he's hauling it with it.
Yes.
He's not looking at it at all.
Yes.
He's just looking at
So he
first.
doesn't have to run past, so I can go, it's through, and then he can take a turn, or he knows where it is. So there's fun things like that. But I had two guys hit triples in the inning, which was fun. And I got the audio, and I'm going, you're good, go, which
That's
was fun.
great. Did you get to keep the jersey?
Nah, it's like
Yeah.
unaffiliated minor league. They have no money. The players make $1,200 a month.
Dude, I'd say Flaming Lips, and he got everybody with Jeff Ross in Montreal. He gets everybody in, not everybody, but some people in Dorothy, Tin Man, and there's Cowardly Lion outfits.
Wizard
Brings
of
people
Oz.
from the crowd. Wizard of Oz, popular movie, where those characters came in, and he gets them all on stage. They just dance the whole time. It's so cool looking.
Oh, that's
you know?
fun.
Yeah, and then afterwards, he's like, hey, I need those. Like, so anyway, change out of those, and I'll
Yeah,
talk
of
to you.
course. But we were in Whitefish, which is spectacular. Great town, tourist town. But it's one of these towns I think that's like blown up. It's like cool people town now. So houses cost $1 million. Like they said, the housing market went up 80% in 5 years or some crazy
They're
number.
calling Montangelos.
Oh,
You
I
heard
like
that?
No, I never heard that.
They're like,
And I was
keep
there.
that shit away from us.
Wow, interesting. Well, anyways, it's at like the entrance of the Glacier National Park, but evidently there's only one entrance into Glacier.
Yeah.
So we kept hearing, you can't even get in. Don't even try. You're fucked. You can get up at 5 a.m. or you needed reservations. It fucking, what do you call it?
Not stopgap. Not.
Funnel cake. Funnel cake. Funnel of love. Yeah, it funnels whatever. That's still not it though.
It funnels. It's like a stop up or something. It's
It's
like
a,
a cork. It's a stopgap.
I just had it on the Queensboro Bridge.
How about
3 lanes down to 1.
Something like a drain. It's like a.
What the fuck?
It's a
Bottleneck.
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 It's so fucking
Yes.
rewarding to not look it up.
Yes. Bottlenecks.
And we did it together. Even if you got it, I felt like we would have got it together.
Yeah, we got it together.
We suffered
Absolutely.
for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it bottlenecks. Anyways,
You should be like, I forgot the story.
but everyone kept telling us, don't even try. So I was like, all right, Jesus. Well, I guess we're fucked.
You were
And
going
then
to
I was like, what if the town just got together and was like, hey, just tell everyone that they can't get in?
smart.
It's not bad.
They did that with the Hollywood sign. They put up real. They go to the sign makers, like the ones who actually make the government signs. You know, the ones that are on the street, and they made official looking signs said "Not this way" to the Hollywood sign. Google Maps is wrong. Whatever.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
they don't want people driving through through their neighborhoods.
Wow.
All these fucking tourists, drug addicts and such.
But then I had this thought. Let me know where you come up with this.
Okay.
I had this thought of like, well, how much better? There's more wildlife, but I'm like, how much better is a hike over there where there's an invisible line
This is the national park?
than over here?
Yeah, it's going.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, what about our hike in Zion? So we went to some of the
That was tough.
Yeah, the major one, sure, but what about the hike right out the gate?
Yeah, that was good. Right out
The
the
Indian
door.
burial grounds?
Yes, that was
and
better.
that one, those were also really good. And we saw no one. It was just get out there.
Because that was a national park that it was too crowded.
Yeah.
It was like lines and shit. Because I'm used to Joshua Tree where there's 3 entrances and you can just, usually, I've never had a problem. You just cruise right in.
Especially when I go, like, I do my hiking at midnight, like, in this moonlight. It's like, ain't nobody around.
So cool.
Sounds like a who sang Tusk?
Tusk?
The album Tusk? Fleetwood Mac. Sounds like a Fleetwood Mac album. I just said title of the song.
Well, this sun is aggressive.
It's aggressive.
But anyways, we ended up hiking Big Mountain, which is also funny because there's a street sign that just says Big Mountain. Like it just sounds like it's like, check it out, Big Mountain. And we did a great trail up there, the Danny On Trail, where you take a gondola back down, kind of like in Ecuador. It was pretty fun. And there was a bear sighting on the gondola right before we got on it, but we never saw a bear.
Oh.
Don't you wish you could be one of those guys that just says you saw things that you didn't see? Are you jealous of people that just make shit up sometimes?
Sometimes I am. It makes for a better story. Like, why include the part that wasn't awesome?
Yeah, why not just be like
put
this? I saw a
yourself in
bear.
it. Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's not.
I agree with it. It's like, yeah, for the story listener's sake.
Right.
Just say that.
Yeah, we saw a bear. It was crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wasn't close, but he was down there. He was crawling around.
The problem is when people start asking details, you want to be like, hey, dude, fucking, come on, man. I'm not. It's like when somebody says, you ever read that book? You ever read The Chosen? You're like, yeah. Just because you mean, like, get on with your
Yes.
story. And then they go like, what'd you think of the first chapter? You're like, oh, dude,
fuck.
I didn't see it.
There's a Brian Regan told me a great story one time because we were talking about how you make up lies when you're on the road
Uh-huh.
because you don't want to tell people you're a comedian because then they want to hear a joke.
Independent contractor. I'd say that a
So
lot.
him and his brother say they're painters, and it always works. But then they went golfing, and they put when you golf 2 people, they put you with 2 other people.
Pair
so it's
you
a
up?
foursome. They paired them up, and they realized it was a bad choice because that works if you're in a cab, but this is a 4-hour day.
So I start asking
So
questions about
naturally,
your
they're
job.
like, "What kind of painters are you?" And just that question, they were like, "Uh-oh." He's like, "Do we paint houses? Do we paint paintings? Do we
And
paint
it's like, you would know. Even if you're not as qualified as you said you were, you would still know what kind of painter you are.
And they like impressionist, fucking broad strokes. Do I
Yeah.
paint the Madison Square Garden? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, we're just horrible. We're like, just paint. And then he did a Regan-y, I like to paint. But I was saying to him, I have one that I always do that no one's ever pointed out as stupid, but it always works. I say, my friend just had a baby. And then he just started laughing. He's like, never in my whole life.
That's your
have
job?
I ever got, no, not your job. What are you doing in town?
My friend just had a baby.
For job, I say bartender because I understand it. I only know 3
Make him a
jobs.
bar.
But I would say, what do you do in town? My friend just had a baby, and he just goes, never in my whole life have I ever got on a plane and flown to a city because a friend had a baby. And then he's making me laugh because he's like, my friend had a baby in Omaha next week. And the week after that, my friend had a baby in Kansas
From
City.
July 14th to the 17th.
My friend's
Kansas City,
having
second show added on, second
Los
baby added
Angeles.
on Thursday.
What do you say? What's your go-to? You're an independent
Independent
contractor.
contractor for a while. That's when I was a new comic. Now, sometimes I will say comic, but I really hate it. Because also, like, I don't want to talk about this with you. Sometimes, though, I want to, like, one-up somebody, and then I will say it. It is cool. It is a cool job. You want sunglasses?
You have to. I'm not a sunglasses guy. I should have worn a hat. Well, this umbrella soon will be helpful.
No, it won't. It won't. It can tilt it.
Oh, tilt it. Oh my God, I can't wait for the tilt. Is it gonna fuck up the? Oh, that's unbelievable. That is a life changer.
Yeah, the lighting will be off, but deal with it.
We're back.
We're back. I got to get a screen from there to there. It wouldn't help right now because it'd be too high, but pretty soon it will be good. But I won't be here this long.
What does that mean? You sick?
They're raising the prices so much.
Ugh.
Oh, let me just show everybody this is not a green screen.
What's that mean?
It means like we're not on 2 separate things put together.
Oh yeah, it looks like. So where are you gonna go?
I don't know.
Upper West Side, where
There's
you belong?
Everything's up. I saw a article that said Manhattan prices average up 35% from this time last year. Brooklyn prices up 30% from last year. So there is no immune place.
No, you gotta, yeah.
I just leave the city, or maybe it'll come down. Maybe it's a recession.
Let's go to Jersey Shore. I'm moving to Jersey Shore, bro. People do that, but Jersey's awesome. It's beautiful. The ocean. Be in the ocean every day.
I've seen the ocean. I love it. I won't downplay it. I think it's amazing. How far is the drive?
Hour.
That's a problem.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I know somebody moved to Renazisi, moved to Long Island, and first he was just there for the summers, and he was like, "No, I'll drive and do spots." And then I did it while I was staying there while I was looking for an apartment here, and I'm like, I listened to the entire The Wall album, and I was like, dude, there's no way you're driving in this far. It has to be for a major meeting.
Well, but don't you think as we get older in comedy that it's quality of spots and you can do show? A real helpful stuff is doing like an hour somewhere, fucking around.
I think it's consistent spots. I hear what you're saying, but I do think it's consistently going up and seeing what other comics are doing, what's become hacky. I'll see some of those 90s comics, especially at the store, come in and you could tell like, oh, you've just been lost on the road. You think this is very original.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's doing like a fucking Crocodile Hunter bit when I started in 1940.
But what do you think? You can't see comedy unless you're at the club? Everyone posts every fucking joke.
Now, true. You gonna look at those? Oh, I love how everybody's posting their crowd work, and it's like we all agreed years ago that this is the easiest, dumbest, most the same thing ever, and now everyone's like, "Yeah, I'll do it." The crowd will eventually understand this is not fun.
It's brutal.
It's only fun if you're live.
Well, that's what Ronan Hirschberg had the point. We all owe Steve Hofstetter an apology. Everybody was like, "This guy, fuck this guy," because it was like
anybody
destroys
can do crowd
heckler.
Work,
yeah,
fuck him.
And now everyone does it.
Yeah, he fucked my mom. Screw that guy. Now everybody does it. Yeah. Good cigar, right?
Very nice.
Smooth, light.
Smooth as my baby's asshole.
At the end of these, this is the one thing we have to do. I took some glamour shots of it. But also, when you do these on your own, when you do a 2 comics, 2 cigars on your own. By the way, if a third person wants to get in, they cannot.
Oh, so it'd only be 2 comics.
Yeah, we had one with Big J. Me and Bobby were doing it. Big J was like right up. I was stay there, and he wanted to say something. I'd hand him the mic, but I'm like, stay off screen.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Adam,
I just inhaled. Ugh.
Oh, at the end, just say, would I buy another one of the? Would I never buy another one? Would I buy another one? Would I buy 5 more, or would I buy a case?
Oh, okay.
Like that's the rating system.
I believe it's known as a box.
Bucks.
Speaking of box, look at the little lady on there with a ponytail. That feels sexual, doesn't it? On the thing.
Oh.
Like, because a ponytail means blowjob, and then this is phallic. So it's got a little, I think it's a little subliminal. There's a young lady with a ponytail. She's saying, hey, suck my dick.
In depth. The top of the band is like, it's got like that
and it has the ponytail lady on it.
Yeah, but the top, see the top? It's got extra shit in there.
Yeah, it's like hologrammy.
Oh, they're all the ponytail and the hologram?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Cohiba, it says. Damn, that's how you know
Does
it's
Cohiba
real.
mean girl that blows you?
If it does, then for sure it's phallic.
Yeah, that's the only way to decide. Well, a cigar is phallic in general.
Anybody shit on cigar use that you know that you're like, shut up? Without saying names, but like whenever you watch UFC, someone's like, oh, it's just gay. You're like, dude, it's fucking hacky. Stop saying that.
Oh, yeah. Well, Carlin had the great joke. But even Freud said sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a big brown fucking dick. What a view over here.
It's not bad, right? When you go from here, we'll have a barbecue at some point. When I get back from Paris, maybe.
You're going to Paris?
Yeah.
When?
Writing class.
Writing class?
Tuesday. Yeah.
I think that ship has sailed. You're 60 years old.
Yeah.
Why are you taking a writing class in Paris?
The guy teaches it there. It's not specific for Paris, but that's where he teaches. They gave him a week at the American University in Paris, so he teaches at Rolf Potts.
Wow.
New book coming out in October.
You're writing a book?
Rolf did. I am.
What?
Yeah.
Rolf? What?
Rolf Potts. He wrote a book. He has another book coming out.
Oh.
He teaches the class.
But you're writing a book.
Mm-hmm.
What about travels?
Yeah. Yeah. Probably the only interesting thing about me.
No, your face is gross.
Okay.
You're too old to be living in this neighborhood or hanging out with us. Have you looked at the Upper West? It really feels like you'd do well there.
Can't walk home from spots. I really love walking home from spots. It's just a nice thing. Taking a city bike, you're just back.
Today was the first day I was texting with Sam Morrill, and he was like, I'm thinking about moving to the Village. And I was like, oh, it's the worst. And he's like, I want to walk to the cellar.
Yeah.
And it did hit me like, that is nice. Meanwhile, when he did it, I was in traffic on the Queensboro Bridge being like, that's not bad. And then in Astoria.
Best time to sell me on that.
There's a little place called Grove 34 that I've been going to. You
There's
should
a
come
little
out sometime.
place called Grove 34. What is
You
that,
should come
comedy
out.
club?
It's a little comedy venue. These two like alcoholic young comedians that remind me of myself. I mean, I don't want to say they're alcoholics, but they're party guys.
Great. You can be at that age.
Yeah. And they run the club, and it's like do-it-yourself thing, and it's 4 blocks from my
Love
house.
that. Love that.
So you should come back. We'll smoke a cigar in the backyard. We'll walk over there and fuck around. I get a crowd there.
Wow,
It's nice.
that's great. You
Yeah.
get a crowd there? You mean you tell people I'm performing?
Yeah, I can get like it's like it holds like
Yeah, they
40
need a
people.
Queens comedy room.
That's
In
what it
Astoria.
is.
Yeah, they had that one at the Greek restaurant. David Taylor's brother ran it.
Oh, Matt Taylor.
Matt Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, way back.
Yeah, and then but I remember him saying, he's like, there's no comedy out here. And there's a massive audience.
Well, there's QED. That's Christian Finnegan's wife's club.
Okay.
And then there's now Grove 34, which is great. You should come on. I'm doing it August. Maybe I can plug it here. I don't know if this will be out, but
Maybe.
August 22nd or something like that.
possible.
23rd, maybe it's a Monday. But anyways, I'm walking over there and I'm like, this is amazing. And it's funny. I don't even click to me that everyone lives near the cellar and just walks over there. I'm like, this is unbelievable. I just walked 4 blocks and did a comedy show.
Yeah. That's
I'm
what
like,
Matt said. He
oh.
goes, all these comics live here, so why is there no place to perform? It does make it easier just to like walk by. But this neighborhood's getting too expensive because the cellar, it was a shitty neighborhood before.
It's a shitty neighborhood now.
Yeah, it's gross, but it's expensive. But
Yeah.
back then it wasn't like expensive, so you could live around the thing. It's like when they lived at all those people like Pollock and what's her name, the singer,
Cyndi Lauper.
Smith.
Patti Smith.
Patty Smith, and they all lived in the same. It's like
Yeah,
they
it
were
used to
poor.
be bohemian.
Yeah, they were poor, and they could be poor. You can't be poor in that area now.
No, this has been going on for a while, but yeah, in the fucking 60s, 70s, 80s, it was a bohemian lifestyle, and it was for
Yeah.
artists. It's like artists that can't live here now.
They can't live here. So then who comes?
Only
Like they just get Jeff
podcasters.
Koons to come and fucking buy a fucking floor.
Dean Koontz.
Sure, Dean Koons would work too.
Jeff Koons.
Jeff Koons is that artist. He makes those giant like inflatable balloons. Looks like inflatable balloon animals.
Oh,
He has a bunch of Michael Jackson ceramic shit and whatever. It's just like it's
whatever.
gaudy. It's gaudy, and each one is like $400,000 to buy.
oh, jeez. Pass.
Yeah, that's Dean Koontz and Jeff Koons. I was starting at the Comedy Store, like I was brand new comic, and this guy Mike Ricca, he was talking to Eleanor, and she was just a waitress, and he's just shitting on her for fun. And he goes, all you want to do is be the next Mrs. Carey. That's all you're looking for. And she goes like, Jim or Jim or what's the other one? What's the fat ones?
Drew.
Jim or Drew? And he goes, you don't care.
That's funny. Drew Carey got the best job in show business. You know Price is Right? You ever hear about his gig? It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday
Oh wow,
from 10 to 2, 2 weeks on, 1 week off.
wow.
And it pays like a ton of money.
Wow.
I mean, what a cake job.
What a cake job. And for a cool thing, too. It's like, this is fun and easy. Nothing has to go into this.
It's fun. It's
Work
whatever.
a little bit.
So you work whatever that is, 9 days a month.
Yeah.
And you're done by 2 p.m. and then 10 a.m.
Most of the show is them guessing numbers. Most of the show, you're not doing anything.
No, you just stand there. It's fun.
Yeah. It's fun. Spin that wheel. Oh, this guy's old. He might not be able to spin the wheel.
Whoa. I used to, have we talked about this? I used to have that thing of like, don't you want to be an artist, man? And then you realize I'm like, oh, it's just fun. Experientially, I mean, obviously I'm not going to do commercials for fucking Exxon Mobil or whatever.
Where it goes against your moral values.
But then you're just
Against
like,
it, instead of just not supporting it.
these celebrity people, you're like, hey, we got you a Chase Bank commercial. It'll take you 5 hours. It pays $1.5 million. And you start to go, maybe I'll take care of my nephew. I'll go down there for a few hours. Fuck it.
Easy peasy. It's like a corporate gig.
Yes.
I went and did one with Nate in Vegas. He goes, I was supposed to hang out with him in Nashville. And I'm coming back from this music festival. I was like, hey, so should I go straight to your house or should I stay at the condo one night and then go over? And he goes, fuck, dude, I forgot you were coming. I went to Vegas on a corporate gig.
Oh,
And I was like, I go, tell you what, though, if you want, fly out here. I have a suite and we have private tables and they'll get you another room. And
wow.
it's up to you. And then we'll fly back together. I already have like a string of flights back, so I can just put you on those. If you want to come to Greenville with me, have a kickoff dinner with Vecchione and fucking a couple other guys. And then go rent a car, go back to, or fly back to Nashville from there. And I was like, sure, I will go.
Wow, you're the only guy that would say yes to that.
That's what he
really
said
are.
too. That's what he said too. Why was I even talking about that?
Corporate gigs, doing corporate gigs.
But he did this corporate gig. It sucked, but it was enough money to be like, let's just have a good time. But it's like, this is not a good show.
Right.
If this was like a bar show and they asked me to do it, I'd be like, no.
Right.
It's all fucking Toyota people. No, I don't want to do that show. Thanks anyway.
Yeah, sometimes you just do things and you go, hey, what the fuck? Well, you realize you're like, you feel like a corporate schlep or whatever. You're like, I can take this money and do fun things with it. Or donate it, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I don't see Nate doing that. I see building a golf simulator in his basement instead. Like, this is the one that Toyota paid for.
Well, he's doing well, huh?
He's doing well.
See, don't you want to? I want to do so well that I can have an apartment in Queens, so I'm 12 minutes from the airport, and then a house by the ocean.
That would be nice.
Is that too much to ask
That would
for
be
a
nice.
comedian?
I want like a woods house.
Yeah, me too. I think about that. I go back and forth between ocean and woods.
It's those are the things. Okay, so wait, did we have this discussion? No, someone
I
else.
think so.
You have
I think about it all the time.
$1 million to spend. $5 million.
$1 million is nothing. That's
Right,
like a
say
joke.
$5
now.
million. Would you just have that $5 million on beach house, woods house, farmhouse, or what else is there?
I don't know. Outhouse?
Suburban house? Outhouse would be a nice one. It's
Yeah,
very
the
expensive.
suburb house, whatever.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the suburbs house, but like, what would you do? Would you go beach house, mountain house, woods house? Mountain is woods.
Well, first of all, $1 million now. That's that's just a house.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I go to
I know.
Zillow just to fuck around. Like a house in Jersey within an hour of here is like $1 million. A lot of them. I mean, some of them are not all of them.
I have
Someone's
my
gonna
friend-
write to me and be
yeah.
like, "Fuck you." But like
My friend-
$700,000 if you want like a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, like a nice house.
Yeah, nice house.
That's like $1 million.
I was talking to my friend. He was working at the patent office, and then he was going to grad school. He was decided went back to school to go to grad school, and he was like, "You get paid more, and you're more valuable to like law firms and other firms and stuff like that. Plus your experience at the patent office." And I was like, "What if they like give you like? What if the patent office gives you like a bunch of money right now?" He's like, "What do you mean? Like, what if they paid you like $100,000 a year?" This is my 4 years out in comedy, and he goes, "I already make that." I was like, "What? No way!
That's
You're
crazy.
leaving that?" And he goes, "I'm normal. I'm not even rich."
Well, here's the thing. Going back to the house in the woods thing.
Yeah,
House in the woods is a little scary. You got to take that in consideration.
bears and such.
Bear and just rapey murder ghouls.
invaders. Yeah,
like I mean, you're on the second floor in the woods. No one's within. I feel like as you get older, you get more conservative. I feel like I'm like I would want a gun if I lived in the woods.
Get a gun.
Because
Get a gun. Get two.
well, I don't know if I need an Astoria.
Have duels.
Hey, that's like a Pearl Jam lyric. Got a gun. In fact, I got to. That's okay because I love God. Any tits. If you're like in the woods and you're up on the second floor and you hear someone breaking in, 911, that's gonna take
forget
some
it.
time.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucked.
I
You gotta
found
get a gun.
700 acres out somewhere. Or O'Neill found it for me, and it was too much. I couldn't afford it. It was like $700,000 or something like that. And I was like, damn. But I like looked into it. And I'm like, maybe I can really scrounge and apply myself, And the lady was like, you can't get a mortgage on this because there's no like power lines, there's no water lines, no nothing. So no one will give you a mortgage to pay for it outright. She tried to talk me out of it, and she goes, I'll take you up there. Like, well, show me where it is. I can just go and look at it myself. She goes, the neighbors aren't the friendliest.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, okay. And she goes, and just so you know, like if you get bit by a snake, you're like an hour from a hospital.
Yeah.
And I'm like, lady, I'm a buyer.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's
exactly what I
nice
was
for her, I
looking for,
guess.
though.
But yeah, but the woods is. I'd like to be near the wood. Like Williamstown, Massachusetts is like it's like near. It's near a lot of parks.
I want to be a 10-minute drive from a small town.
Yes.
Like if I could be a 15-minute drive from Terrytown, but deep in the woods where like I don't hear anything.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. All right, we got to figure this out. What does this pay? A couple hundred? $1,000?
This is a not-for-profit YouTube series.
Well, that'll be ads.
I'll give you Cohiba. Well, yeah, if there's ads.
Well, I've already
Yeah,
had
we'll see.
one.
Yeah.
Like in addition to this?
No, that was the one.
Fuck.
32 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. Your house. But I don't know. It's hard to.
So where would you go? You'd go beach house. People are
No,
around
well,
on a
beach
beach
is-
house, though.
no, 'cause
People are
beach-
around.
Yeah, beach is tough because the neighbors. Well, this is what I want. Because all those houses
Private
in Jersey
beach
Shore.
house.
We talk. Our friends come over. We're talking rape, race. I mean,
You need no neighbors.
I don't want people around.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people going.
I do mushrooms. I
I'm
want to
trying
be able
to
to
go
scream. I want to be able to scream. Like, I can't. Like, you know what I mean? And not bother somebody on a Tuesday.
Yeah, woods is good because I love hiking. Hiking is better than ocean.
hiking. Yeah,
When I
I
go to
agree.
the ocean, I'm in there for 12 minutes because this is the thing with me. I love being in the ocean. I hate being on the beach.
You really do. You're like, let's get back in there.
I want to hang in the ocean. It's spiritual. The beach isn't spiritual. There's music. The sand sucks. The ocean is spiritual. Ocean heals.
I stayed at one place. It's like the last house in northern Ecuador, the last house before the beach, and so no one's really walking by. Some fishermen in the morning, but you just sit out there on a deck and just look at the ocean. It was fucking nice. But vacation home, there's nothing to do other than nothing. A hike is something to do.
But the ocean is nice and the woods is good in the winter too. But the ocean is
Woods
nice
is
to
good in the
go
winter.
down there. You walk around, you just feel it. You feel small. It's good. Both are good.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very privileged conversation.
Man, well, I was smoking Cohiba, pure Cuban cigars.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like this. Ooh, how long is this? Jesus. Or wait, what about this option? We forgot this option.
Yeah.
Nice high-rise Florida window ceilings. I mean, Florida ceiling windows.
Yeah. That
Because those are nice too. A nice outside, not a real people deck, not this horse shit.
Yeah.
You
It's
know what I
nice
mean?
to have a little bubble to be able to, like, no homeless guys can get to me right here. I can be outside.
If you don't like homeless guys, this is not the neighborhood for you.
But this bubble, just concentrate on the bubble.
Love a bubble.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't stay in New York forever, though. Adrian got through to me. She was like, we live like fucking rats. My heat went out for 3 weeks. And the guy was like, all right, I'll cut $50 off your rent. Because that's not, put my heat on.
I told you when I lived in Harlem and our refrigerator broke. And my landlord lived across the hall. And I said, my refrigerator's broken. And she goes, y'all want to put your Cokes in my fridge? And I was like, I mean, that's not exactly the solution. I was like, knock on your door when I want a Coke.
My fucking buzzer wouldn't work. Stop working. Yeah, that's not a great solution. And I was like, hey, dude, the fucking buzzer doesn't work. It's attached to my phone. It never opens up. I can't open it. It goes, well, we talked to everybody else says it's work. I'm like, in 15 minutes, you talked to the other tenants and theirs worked. I believe you're lying to me. Anyway, so the guy was like, well, if you want a solution, you can have stuff dropped off, like packages dropped off to the office. I'm like, 7 blocks away? No, that's not a great solution. Fix the buzzer.
No, I hit 40. My life has changed. I want a driveway.
Yeah.
Look at I have a car, which is
Nate
the most
lives nice.
money. It's the most money I've ever spent on anything. It's like my only thing I've ever bought in my life.
But I love the way you bought it too.
It lives in a fucking subterranean garage.
My
I have
garage
to text a
costs
guy.
twice as much as my car.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. I have to, and also it's like a half a mile away. I got to walk a half a mile and wait for
Text
a guy.
somebody like, hey, it's not here. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I have to get a stranger to drive it. I haven't seen it. I want a driveway and I want a yard. I sit in my back area. It's cement.
I want to be able to pull into a driveway. How about this? This is something I used to do in LA at least. You pull into your spot, That's normal to have a spot in LA. You pull into your spot, and then I'm listening to the radio, and I just sit there. Turn the car off. I just kind of sit there, and I just think for a while. You do that at your garage? Sir?
Yeah.
Are you supposed to park here? It's a monthly. I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah.
monthly. It's like, sir, okay. Fuck, leave me alone.
You a Brett Ernst fan?
Yeah.
I think that guy's so funny.
Oh, he's great. Why are you saying that?
He's got a great bit about. He's like, I can't do the voice, but he's so funny. He's like, I watch HGTV. These guys are fucking lit. He's like, oh, they all take place in Michigan and Ohio. He's like, they're fucking living. The guy, he's got a stay-at-home wife. He's like a manager at Johnny Rockets. They're putting in a pool. I don't have a parking space. It's true though. We got to move to Kentucky. Let's all go to northern Kentucky.
We got to restart
Cincinnati.
a comedy scene, and it ain't Austin.
Louisville's
not bad. It's warm.
Cincinnati, northern Kentucky. Houses there for like $500,000. You can get like a second floor wraparound porch.
Me and
you can
Louisville
drive
stayed
everywhere.
an hour away from Louisville in Birdseye, Indiana, because it was the Derby week. Couldn't find anything. We just got a fucking a house in the woods.
Sure.
It was great.
Yes.
An hour away.
Yes.
And you could get 30 minutes away if it wasn't Derby week.
And you can drive to all these places. You can drive to Nashville, Chicago, St. Louis, the other one.
That's how Nate is pushing us on Nashville. He goes, Nashville started because it was in between Chicago and New York. It was in between the West Coast and the East Coast. So it wasn't the longest flights. He was like, you do have to fly Southwest a lot.
Ugh.
That's the only, yeah.
Well, that's why Cincinnati, I think you can get some Delta shit going.
You love Delta.
I'm all about the Delta, baby.
Dude, I was in the airport with Mark Norman, very funny comic out of New York.
Most people haven't heard of him.
By way of New Orleans.
We think.
What do you think they're building up there? You think they're redoing their deck up there?
What are you talking about?
See the furthest right, big, giant brown building? There's
I know.
stuff on top.
I know who doesn't see it, the audience. But no, I don't see it either.
On both of those, actually. They have these little scaffolding things.
I feel like you're tricking me. You giving me the finger?
No. Is that one just over the curb thing?
Oh, I see.
See little
Okay.
scaffolding things? You think they're going to totally redo that deck?
Maybe.
Is that my old apartment?
I don't know.
Anyway, so Normand, get there, all right?
You're at the airport with
At the
him?
airport. And he's delayed. I saw him. He's supposed to go to Minneapolis the night before me.
Oh, I got this story on the podcast. Yeah.
Oh, great. And
you guys hung out and it got canceled.
yeah, I saw him. I'm going a day early. So I'm like, I fly late, get there a day early, no stress. Especially I fly to Chicago the next day, so I don't want 3 days in a row flying. And I see him at the airport. I was like, "Hey, Mark." I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, wait, what? Your show is tonight. My show's tomorrow. It's 4 p.m." I've been all day. He went from Newark to fucking LaGuardia.
Brutal.
And then we hung out for a while. But he was like, "I have that new Delta pass." And he goes, "Maybe I can get you in." And they go, "You have a few buy one get ones, get a friend in." And they go, "Do you want to use one of your passes?" And in new Mark fashion, he didn't cheap out on it.
Oh wow.
He was like, "Yeah, let's use it."
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Well,
though.
maybe he's changing.
He really is. Now when he steals like something from the supermarket, he gets something for you too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Shame works. It's
Shame
gonna
does
really
work.
shame people.
Dude, we're all me and I don't know where we were with Vecchione and him driving somewhere. Oh, maybe Soul Joel's. And we stopped at a rest stop, and I see him with his like a thing of almonds, and I could just see it in his eyes because I'm just like him. He's stealing that. He's gonna steal that.
Sure.
And he's looking for an out. How do I get out of the place? How do you make sure no eyes are on you? And it was perfect. Every once in a while, you fucking nail something. I was like, Mark, Mike needs us right now. We gotta, Mark, he needs us in the fucking lot now. And he's like, "Oh shit, what?" And I fooled him. And he goes,
fun.
"What is it?" I'm like, "Nah, you were gonna steal that, right?" He goes, "Oh,
That's pretty
yeah,
good,
dude."
It's pretty good.
Yeah, thanks.
Not bad. I got the Delta Plus one. I just paid outright at the beginning of the year. Give me the Delta Plus one.
What does that mean?
It's $800 for the lounge. It's $800 for the year, but
Yeah.
it pays for itself because if you want to have breakfast
Free
at
food.
the airport,
Yeah, that's
it's like
$15, $20,
$30.
30,
Yes.
40 minutes. Yeah.
Cup of coffee is $5. So you get free coffee, free meals.
It is, and no waiting in line and the fucking with the chap. Then you can get to the airport early. I try to get there I want to get there so late that as I'm ringing in, the lady behind the counter is like, "Oh, okay."
No, I'm not. I like to get there early. I go to the lounge. I'm like Bobby.
Yeah.
I go to the lounge, have a cup of tea, eat, read.
I'm starting to see it now, but I just can't justify paying it. I guess I could just pay for the day. It's like $50, right, to just get in.
No, it's $800, but you fly a lot, don't you?
I do fly a lot, but I don't get there early enough. But then also they get you, right? Don't they say, "Hey, your flight's boarding. Go now"?
They don't get you, but they tell when you check in. They say it's about an 8-minute walk and it leaves. It's on time.
So right, okay.
Yeah.
What about delays? Do they say like flight 264 or Mr. Norman? It's time for you to leave.
Yeah, but you get updates on your phone and shit.
And can you get that everywhere or just Delta? Like
Just
when you're
Delta.
overseas, can you get like? Is there any like?
Well, Delta is part of the global alliance, and in Europe, everything's better in Europe.
Doesn't that sound like Hitlerism?
A little bit,
Yeah.
but good. We were the alliance. I don't know if you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was us.
The axis of evil.
Yeah, that was Italy, Japan, Germany, and
I bet they were like, well,
and the Republicans.
Why didn't we get any say on this? Well, we're not evil. We're trying to rid the Jews out of this fucking planet.
I know. Well, nobody thinks they're evil. I think.
They say that's an acting role when you have to play Hitler. You have to play it as if you think you're doing the right thing.
Right.
You can't judge him if you're going to act on him. Because you can't be like, I'm really shitty what I'm doing.
Oh, that's a pretty bird over there.
I
Red
heard-
belly.
I heard a, oh yeah.
What time is it? Holy shit! What time is it? Am I late?
For what?
My spots?
No. Sunset's at 8:30. What time's your first spot? 8 something, right? 6:24.
6:24. Hey,
We could wrap it up.
wrap up your cock with my mouth.
Yeah, we could totally. That's a good excuse. Both of those are good reasons to fucking turn this off.
Not bad. How often do you think about death? Daily? Once a week? Once a month? Once a year?
Almost never now. I did have a therapist, a psychologist, whatever, the one that prescribes drugs. Did a little bit of like, hey, think about this, but mostly just like, let's get you the right drugs. And he was like, so how's it kicking in? Like, whatever. I was like, I'm feeling better. And he goes, do you think about suicide? I was like, I think about the idea of suicide, but I no longer think about doing it myself. But it's still an interesting topic.
If you don't do it yourself, it's not suicide. That's one of the key components.
And he goes, let's wait until you're not thinking about suicide at all, really, and
Right.
then we'll say cured. Because he goes, most people just generally don't think about it on a day-to-day.
Yeah. Oh, I think about it all the time.
I'm so interested. Do you think about death a lot?
I do, but now in a much more positive way. I used to just be hanging out and be like, we're going to die. That's awful.
And
That
now you're like,
was for
"Sweet,
most of my life.
Take me. Let the darkness take me.
Now I think we're going to die, but we're not right now. We're alive right now. It's quite a gift. Look at all these
right.
colors you can see.
It's like it's almost over. Enjoy it. It's like that last day of sleepaway camp. Privileged. And you're like, let's make this count. The last week when you're traveling.
I never did sleepaway camp, but I
Last
see what
night
you
when
mean.
you're visiting Ecuador.
Sure.
You were shitting a lot. That wasn't the best example.
Oh, God, I was dying. I was dying. I got so emotional I couldn't stop crying. was bad. It was crazy. I mean, that was bad.
Crying from poop.
Well, it made me emotional because everything was coming out of me. You know, you get very vulnerable. It wasn't like I took a couple of shits. I mean, I was
Non-stop.
I was nonstop shitting for
It was
hours.
almost comical. We stop at a rest stop,
It was
a gas
comical.
station, not even a rest stop, a gas station.
Ecuador countryside side of the.
They're
it was
not known
fucking
for their
horrendous.
excellent bathrooms in their
No.
in their gas stations. And then like drive 10 minutes, like, hey, all right, I gotta stop for poop. You're like, come on, dude, no way. You're fucking wrecked. I'm still going in from the last one.
No, I would shit and then come out, literally get in the car and be like, we got to stop at the next one. It was so bad. So
Wow.
bad. Well, I drank a full cup of Ecuadorian faucet water. I mean, it was bad.
It was great. Glad that happened at the end and not the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sarah had bad shit, but and during a hike, which was brutal. It almost is worse.
She had it during the hike with us?
Yes, the whole hike. She was sweating. She was dying.
Wow.
We got to that river,
She held it.
and she
Held
finally
together.
made it. Yeah, but she thought she was gonna shit her. She had like shit your pants sweats.
This is a mural of Ecuador. Where's where we went? Mindo.
I don't know.
I
Mino.
think the toucan. I think toucan. I think it's reversed, east-west.
Is it Mindo? You're right. Mindo.
Mindo. Yeah, because that's Galapagos. That's the mountains. We're just over the mountains. Yeah, it's that. That's our area. That's the toucan we saw.
I thought we should have been in the mural.
Because that's part of our experience.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just
could
flora
have
and
been
fauna.
like this.
Yeah.
Oh, floral and fauna.
Yeah, and bandit.
Where's Bandit?
Bandit's down underneath there.
Oh, there's.
Looking at it. No, that's a tapiary. Taper.
Where's Sarah?
It's monkey.
These are funny visuals. If maybe you can plug them in or something.
Yeah, maybe. All right, Joe. I think we've reached towards the end of our cigar.
Yeah, I'm done talking to you.
So, so hurtful.
If you
so
could go
very
inside
hurtful.
or whatever after this.
I really like the cigar.
Great
It was
cigar.
fucking smooth, dude.
I'm not even joking. I
Didn't
would
go
just
out.
light up another one right now. And smoke
Didn't
it.
go out. It was smooth. I'm glad we have an excuse. If you have a fine cigar, I think you tell me what you think. You have a reason to light up that fine cigar. A friend you haven't seen in forever is in town. A fucking my friend just did a fucking movie.
That was fun.
Feature that he wrote and starred in
And produced.
and produced. The Jew side and what a special occasion. So why not have a special cigar?
Yes. I maybe have two.
I remember. Yeah, we could have another one. Something else. I remember when your wedding, Bobby brought a box of
Oh, it's one of my biggest regrets in my
the
life.
judges, our father.
It was my father. I think it might have been Judge. It was my father.
That'll be coming on this episode. At some
Oh
point.
God, it was so
On
bad.
this-
That's all I smoked normally. My father.
What was so bad?
He gave me a box, like a $300 box of cigars, and
Hand
like
them
an
out.
idiot, I
Your
just
wedding.
started handing them out like Santa Claus. And an hour later, there was like 9 $25 cigars with like an eighth of an inch all over the floor. Every fucking person was like, "Yeah, give me a cigar."
It was ruining your
It was
wedding.
so
It was
stupid.
ruining your mindset.
Everyone's just putting them down. Everyone's coughing, spitting them out, and I'm like, I mean, like half the box was gone. And I'm like, I'm a fucking.
We needed a second box of just shit cigars.
It would have been like if Bobby handed me $300 cash and I ripped up 2 of the $100 bills and threw them on the ground.
You were like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
It was so stupid. Like Norman took one, Stavros took one. I think my uncle grabbed one.
When
It
I'm
was
here,
just so
I
bad.
was on Montauk I was smoking cigars, and Joe DeRosa was like, "Oh, I have one." I was like, "Okay, here, this is a good one for you, man." It's just like you're not getting a fine one.
It's a good point. Somebody said that before. Who was that? Was that Bobby that had that idea? It's like you always bring. Maybe that was you. You always bring a couple of shit cigars to hand. Maybe it was Bennington. I can't remember. Tony V. It was
Tony
Tony
V.
V. Tony V was
He was
the one.
handing them out at your premiere.
Yeah.
I smoked it the other day.
Yeah,
it was a
the
good cigar, the little
firecracker.
firecracker. It was a
Yeah.
really good one. Tony V.
He hands me. He's
Thank you.
very giving, great guy. But yeah, he said you always have a couple of whatever firecrackers to give to Ari. You always have a couple lesser cigars that you hand to a guy who's like, "I'll smoke a cigar." And
I
you go, "There
asked
you
him what
go."
he's smoking. He's holding a box, and I was like, "What are you smoking?" He's like, "Oh, look here, you can have one." He brought him to hand out
He's that kind of guy.
on the walk over to Dakota. And
He
I was
also-
like, "Oh, that's not what I was trying to do." And I actually had a case of cigars on me, not a case, but those like travel cases.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, here, man. Thanks a lot. I've heard of him. You know, he's kind of a legend. I've never met him before.
Yeah.
Here's a Tabernacle, a good cigar." He goes, "Oh."
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, he was grateful. And he carried that box like on stage. He carried it everywhere. It was, like, it
wouldn't
was like a
leave it.
book, like his first day of school. Great guy, great comment, very zen guy.
Yeah.
He said he gave me the best advice of my life. He was smoking a cigar outside
Just
of
kill
Caroline's.
yourself. If you think about it, just do it.
That's exactly it. He told you. I was doing this stupid contest at Caroline's years ago, which actually led to me getting live at Gotham and whatever. But we were outside, and he was smoking a cigar, and I was like, "Oh," I was very nervous, Nelly then, and he said, "If you can somehow wrap your head around how insane and unfair and frustrating this business is, and accept all of it, you can have a really nice life as a comedian. It was very helpful.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
It's like it's better than any other job,
I
and
heard-
all that bullshit happens in every job.
I was watching a showcase. Carla Bove, RIP, was showcasing for a Showtime series of half hours. This is 2005-ish, 4 maybe, and there were some showcases at the Comedy Store. Then there was some showcases at the Improv. He was doing the Improv one. I went there to see him, and I saw the whole thing. And then I was in the bathroom peeing, and 2 executives from Showtime, maybe an executive and a producer, were peeing, so I could hear them. Remember the Improv bathroom?
Yeah.
You're washing your hands. You could totally. And they were like, "What do you think of?" It was 2 black comics, and they were only going to book 1. And they were like, "What do you think of comic A or comic B?" And they go, "Well, comic B crushed. He had a way better set." And they're like, "Yeah." They're like, "But comic A he's a little bigger name wise." And they're like, "Yeah, let's go with comic A." And it was like, what's the point of even showcasing?
Yes.
He had no chance. He crushed it. B.
Right.
And it was like, oh. And then when you do that, it's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Do your best. Some shit will happen. And we're living in a fucking balcony in New York.
Pretty nice. I don't live here, but thank God. But Colin Quinn always helps me too. He always reminds you that, because everyone always goes, show business this, show business that. He goes, every profession is that way.
Yeah.
If you're a plumber, you're like, that guy's fucking doing the plumbing
He
for
got
Fenway.
plumber of the year.
He what? Yeah, he fucking got that job.
That guy sucks.
Yes.
He uses awning
They
for his,
just-
for his pipes.
He's just hot. He's a Jew. That's why they gave it to him.
Oh, yeah. So my biggest fear for white comics is that before, when we weren't succeeding, it was because we weren't good yet. And now I've heard it. All these white comics are like, oh, because I'm a white guy. And you're like, but actually that wasn't a good set you had.
Yeah,
And
you
now you're
stunk.
going to blame it on these other things other than yourself.
Right.
It's not a good place for growth.
Oh, we got to go to that chicken place. We should go to that chicken place.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking
Down.
starving. What time is it?
What time is your spot? 8 what?
8:30.
8:30. Okay. And let's stop and get some ice cream, too. Let's
Yes.
walk over there.
Yes.
One of my favorite things is walking from the old stand to one of those ice cream places on like 11th or 13th. And just late at night in the summer, I think it was the old stand. And just walking down there, getting some ice cream, walking back on our high. We had an hour in between
Yes.
spots, and it was just like, what a fun New York. I was new to New York. I was excited to hang out with New York comics, and it was still cool. We knew each other, but
It's probably when I saw you and ducked and ran the other way.
I think it's past that. I'm still not.
Ooh, that was
still
bad.
hurtful. I woke up in a cold sweat from that.
That was bad. I didn't know you. I'm not good with new people. I'm a shy guy.
I would love to say like still, but it's like I've been there 1,000%.
Of course.
It's like
That was, I forget what comic was like living here for 6 months. I was like, do I got to meet him and shit? You're like, you might have to meet him. I'm like,
you know that Curb Enthusiasm when Cheryl, when he's still married to her, Cheryl.
Yeah.
And he goes, she goes, I saw the dentist. I invited him over for dinner. He goes, what? You invited the dentist over for dinner? And he's like walking upstairs, like, why? We have a business relationship. She goes, oh, he's nice. He goes, and he takes 2 more steps up. He goes, I gotta find a new dentist now. It's just like I won't be able to go to him if he's seen my home. He just hit him. It's just like, fuck.
He is the one and only king of comedy. He really is the king. I owe everything to him. That's a good way to wrap up, right?
It is. Okay. Would you buy one of these? Just went out too. One of these, 5 of them, none, or a box.
It means you're talking too much if it went out. I'd buy a box of these. I mean,
I'd buy a box.
I would buy a box of these. This is a fucking killer. This is one of my favorite cigars I've ever had in my life.
I agree. I think it's a no-brainer box.
No-brainer box.
Yeah.
I like that term.
I will say at the wedding, giving out cigars, the point is not to everybody to smoke them. The point is just to be like, hey, isn't this fun? Here's cigars. It was gone before you got them.
You should get married just for the party.
That's not a bad idea. I could just have a party.
That's a good point. But I like the
not in
suits.
Tarrytown.
I like the suits.
Suits
and
was
the,
nice.
You didn't like Tarrytown?
No, you can't do just a random party in Tarrytown.
Right,
You're like,
right,
hey guys, I'm
exactly.
having a party in Tarrytown. Like,
And
go fuck yourself.
People won't show up.
People won't show
That's what's nice about a wedding. Everybody you love is like, shit, we got to go.
We gotta go. Norman's like, I cancel spots for this. You're like, why did you call in?
I know. But that's
old Norman.
Mark. What?
It's old Norman.
You think he's
Yeah, he's
changed?
the same. No, he's the
I
same.
think there's an 80% chance he doesn't show up to the bachelor party, and I'm not kidding. Or he goes, my flight's late. Oh, geez. 80%. Well, that he'll show up to. 80% chance he'll miss the wedding.
Some of it, it's just like he doesn't know. I'm just like, tell all these comments, like, use your calendar in your iPhone. Well, I can't commit. Just put it in there so that if something comes up, just go, oh, actually, nah, this is not more important than that. Can we do another week?
Well, this is
As you get the offer.
I have this with Mark all the time. Sarek's bad with it too sometimes. I'll go like this. All right, so we're going to record Tuesday noon. And he goes, great. And I go, how come you're not doing anything right now? Why didn't you write something down? You didn't open your phone? What's going on there? Yeah, it's the best.
So
It's the best.
frustrating.
Last time I was coming here, I'm like, I got Mark and I are recording. You go, Mark and I are going to the Yankee game. And I'm like, well, I got bad news for you.
And then he just ghosted me. I knew it too because I had the inside information, and I was like, "Hey man, so we'll meet over there about 6 o'clock or whatever. Like right before I get 12 o'clock, we'll meet up." He's like, "No response." I'm like, "I know,
That's
no
the
response."
best. That's charming.
You just gotta know what you're dealing with, and then you're fine. But anyway, I would agree. I'd buy a box of these, $300, even $500, just to have a box of these fine Cohibas for the
Send
moment.
us a box.
Yeah, send us a box. Johnny Cohiba.
From Cuba, not
From
the
Cuba.
American version.
The only way to get Cubans in Ecuador was they were so expensive with the taxes that non-negotiable, you couldn't get them, is to have someone going to Cuba visit home. He goes, which there are a lot of those, and then say, bring something back for me.
That story sucked.
Yeah.
All right.
2 comments, 2 cigars. Guys, don't forget to hit subscribe. Leave some comments for the algorithm or suggest your favorite cigars. Or I don't know. What else should they leave in the comments? A story of when...
List sucks. He's a fucking
sucks.
piece of
Oh, yeah,
shit.
yeah. Definitely do that. The only reason you're going to see those is because we're asking for it.
Yeah. List is a fucking idiot. Fuck him.
Maybe if you had a Cohiba, write when you had it on the comments. I don't know. Just have a fun group. Have a fun fucking conversation up there. Maybe let's make this podcast comment section a fucking, not podcast, YouTube series. Let's make it a fun place.
Fun place. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, buddy. It was great.